I'd like to show you how to calculate the percent composition of a compound. This is a fairly easy concept, I hope. We'll start with an easy compound that you're very familiar with, and that's water. We'll take H2O. And if I asked you what the percent composition of water is, there might be a couple ways you might think about that. You might think about, well, maybe he's asking what percent of a water molecule is a certain element. So if I was asking something like that, I would call that percent abundance. So I'd ask, what percent of water is hydrogen atoms? Of course, that's pretty easy. That's 2 out of 3, right? 2/3, which would be 67%. And oxygen is 1 out of 3, and that'd be 33%. But that is not what we're talking about with percent composition. That'd be percent abundance on what percent of a compound are certain atoms. But these atoms have different masses. So when I'm talking about percent composition, I'm talking about what percent of water is the mass of something. So I want to know what percent of water is by mass is hydrogen, and what percent of water by mass is oxygen. Well, by now we've been able to look on the periodic table and find the molar masses of things pretty easy. We know the entire molar mass of water. There's 1 oxygen worth 16, and there's 2 hydrogens worth 2, because each hydrogen is worth 1. The total molar mass of water is 18. So if I want to find the percent composition by mass, all I do is take 16 divided by 18 times 100. This would be the percent of water that is oxygen, and that comes out to be, if you do this on your calculator, you get 88.9%. Okay? So even though oxygen is 33% by atom of water, it's almost 90% of the mass, because oxygen is so much heavier than hydrogen. Hydrogen, of course, is 2 divided by 18 times 100, and that gives you about 11.1%. So this is what we call the percent composition of a compound. You find out what's the mass, what's the total molar mass of the compound, and then you divide the mass of the elements by that and take it times 100 to get your percent composition. Let's do another one. Let's find the percent composition of acetic acid. And the way we write acetic acid is HC2H3O2. Okay, so we'll figure out how many of everything we have. We have 2 carbon atoms for a total mass. Each carbon is 12, so 2 times 12 would be 24. We have 4 hydrogen atoms, right? We have 3 here and 1 there, so 4 hydrogen atoms. Each hydrogen is 1, so that would be a total mass of 4. And we have 2 oxygen atoms. Each is 16, so that would be a total of 32. I add them up to get entire molar mass of acetic acid, and it comes out to be 60. So for carbon, I would take 24 divided by 60 times 100. And for carbon, that would be 40%. For the hydrogen, it'd be 4 over 60 times 100. 4 overs, and that would be 6.7%. And then for the oxygen, I would take 32 divided by 60 times 100, and that would be 53.3%. And so this would be the breakdown. This would be called the percent composition of acetic acid. What percent of any compound is the masses of all the elements. And I don't think I probably need to do another example problem. Most students find that to be fairly straightforward. You just find the formula. Of course, if you don't know how to figure out the formula, you're in trouble in chemistry. So you got to be able to write the formula, figure out the molar mass, and then divide each of the masses of the elements by that to figure out your percent composition.